Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, still a while for we are playing some more franchise Hockey Manager 7 with my Tampa Bay Lightning historical challenge. Alright folks, we are sitting atop of the Eastern Conference standings. That's pretty good. We are 31, 12, and 9. That's also pretty good. It's pretty tight, so it's not like we can just sit around and feel, complacent or anything like that. Um, Ottawa and Pittsburgh are right behind us as the leaders of their respective divisions. So it's going to be a tight race. Now, the good thing, and I think I mentioned that in the last video, is that our closest team in our division that's closest to us is 16 points behind us, which is the Florida Panthers. So it looks like we, unless there's a catastrophe happening, which I wouldn't put this game past the capability of doing that. We should be more than likely finishing in one of the top three spots here. Now, where it's gonna be, it's way too early to tell, but with a 16-point lead on Florida, we should be relatively safe, maybe. Right, on the injury front, everybody's day to day, so that means we're about to get Keith Kachuk back. That's pretty cool. We haven't seen him much this season. I was pretty happy to get him too, so that kind of. Yeah, he played a whopping 2 games for us this season. And then Tanguy and Avlid are also day to day, so we should be seeing all of those guys back this month. So pretty cool. I checked the trading block. There's actually a couple, somewhat interesting players, but again, I really don't have a whole lot left to trade. So Ulf Dalland is on the trading block. He's a 3.5 star player, and Patrice Brisebois is also on trading block. I would probably have been a little bit more interested in Brisebois, but truth be told, I'm pretty happy with my D right now. So I am keeping what I have, and I am moving on. Alright, so first team on the menu today is going to be the Buffalo Sabres, who are going to be in town. Today is February. Looks like it's not going to be like that many games. We'll see. We are 0-1 against Buffalo this season, so we played once against the Sabres. They beat us in Buffalo. Sabres are 16, 27, and 7. That's good for 13th in the East, so we should be able to do that. Oh, yeah, and Francis Bouillon is still suspended for 4 more games, so he's also not playing. Alrighty, folks, let's get this thing started here. Of course, let's go Lightning, and hopefully we can continue to have really good games here in February of 2001. For the first game today, Dominik Hasek is going to be in net for Buffalo, and Nikolai Abibulin is going to be in net for us. Both goaltenders have 5 fires under their name. Let's see which one prevails. And Abibulin did. We won 4-2. Right? Nice little win to start the month. We outshot Buffalo 39-23 in that one. Boris Mironov was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Dave Andreychuk was the second star with a goal, and Brian Rafalski was the third star with an assist. 15,285 people in attendance for the game. So Boris Mironov opened up the scoring in the first from Brian Rafalski and Vyacheslav Kozlov. It was 1-0, but before the end of the period, former Tampa Bay Lightning Per Gustafsson tied the game. It was tied at 1 after 1. In the second period, Matt Sundin scored on the power play from Rob Blake and Vili Peltonen. It gave us the 2-1 lead, and then we went into the third period with that lead. Matt Sundin scored again from Boris Mironov and Vili Peltonen, made it 3-1. Bill Guerin scored on the power play from Markus Naslund and Sergei Gonchar. It was 4-1. Before the end of the period, or the game even, Buffalo would score another goal, made it 4-2, but it was too little too late, and it was a 4-2 victory here in Tampa Bay at the Amalie Arena. Not sure it was named that back in 2001, but who knows. Alright, Sergei Gonchar has a day-to-day injury, but I think it's a playable one. His name is not in red or anything, so I don't think I'm going to be too worried about it. A torn fingernail. Now, it depends what the torn fingernail looked like. So a few years ago in real life, Sidney Crosby / Mark Method of the Sens right on the thumb, and at least I think it was the thumb, one of his fingers anyway, and it looked kind of gross. Now, you have to understand I'm somebody that has problems with blood and everything, so yeah, that was not a great sight for me, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look, make sure Gonchar, yeah, Gonchar's gonna be okay, he can play. Plus we have 5 days off, so who knows what's going to happen. All right, so we're at home, so that's a pretty nice break, because we're in Tampa Bay, we're not, it's not February in Calgary, right? So, it's, Tampa Bay, so nice weather and everything, and we have a 5-day break at home, so the NHL is so nice to build the calendar that way. Makes my players happy, I'm sure. Right, John Clem, playing for the Bruins, is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Same for Jeff Shantz, playing for the Chicago Blackhawks. He's going to miss 5 games. Theo Fleury's point streak ended at 13 games, so he was held scoreless in that game against Chicago. Yanni Ninema will miss 6 months playing for Dallas, so that's a season-ending injury for him. Massive eye trauma. Alright. William Davidson is satisfied with my work. We went 10-3-3 last month, including the win yesterday. And Nicholas Avlid is almost ready, so that's good. Alright, Nicholas Avlid almost ready. Keith Tkachuk almost ready. Those are things we like to see. Well, maybe you don't, I do. Who knows, maybe you're watching that, hoping that I fail, kind of like how I watched the Stanley Cup final, hoping that the Montreal Canadiens would fail. It's not so much that I wanted for Tampa Bay to win, so maybe you're kind of the same way, like guilty pleasure or something, to watch my entire playthrough and just hoping that I fail time and time again. Who knows? Vasily Pankov has been put on waivers. Sergei Gonchar says that he is ready, that's good. Nicholas Avlid says that he is ready, that's good. And Alex Tanguay is feeling better, also good. Alright, so both of my defensemen are back. Now in Nicholas Avlid's... Oh, yeah, okay. I couldn't remember, I remember that there was something with Bouillon's suspension that I needed to do something, so what I needed to do was to put Avlid on the injured reserve to make room. Okay, so he's gonna need to stay there for 6 days. Alright, that just refreshed my memory. Okay, so Alexander Semyonovs, or something like that, is on waivers. I'm not claiming him, if only because I cannot pronounce his name. And Alex Tanguay is feeling better. Keith Tkachuk is almost 100%. That's good news. Alex Tanguay is about to come back as well. And today we are going to be playing against the Minnesota Wild. So the Wild is in town. They are 15-32-4. We did win against them in Minnesota 6-3 earlier this season. Right, so the Wild is going to go with Roman Cechmanek in net. We're going to go with Nikolai Bibulin. And we won 5-1. We outshot the Wild 35-17 in that game. Martin Straka was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Boris Mironov was the second star with an assist, and Brian Rafalski was the third star with an assist as well. So that's 2 games in a row that Mironov and Rafalski get stars. 14,730 people in attendance for the game. Bill Guerin opened up the scoring in the first. That was a power play tally from Martin Straka. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. The second period, Michael Anzo scored from Vyacheslav Kozlov and Boris Mironov. Then Peter Sheslivy scored from Brian Rafalski and Alex Tanguay. It was 3-0 Tampa Bay after 2. Then in the third period, Vili Peltonen scored from Marcus Naslund and Rob Blake. And then Bill Guerin scored again on the power play from Sergei Gonchar and Martin Straka. 5-0 Tampa Bay at that point. And with a little less than 6 minutes left to go in the third period, Trent Whitfield scored for Minnesota. Prevented Abby Bullen from getting a shutout. So 5-1, the victory here. Oh, Keith Kitchuk is ready now. That makes me happy. That's my type of player right there. Of course, I'm a big fan of Keith's son Brady playing for my Ottawa Senators. All right, so Keith Kitchuk, you get to the active roster. I'm gonna send down. Guess I'm going to send down Varlamov. Agman has been slightly better. There you go. Alright, oh, a bunch of players on waivers. So we have Eric Ely, Barry Moore, and Michael Groshek. Andrew Ference in Dallas is not suspended. They looked at him but did not suspend him. They also looked at Igor Kravchuk playing for the Hawks. They did not suspend him either. And Alex Tanguay is back. That means that we are fully healthy. The only thing is that we still have Nicholas Avlid on injured reserve. He still needs to be there for a couple of days, I believe. Yep, 2 days. Alright, so we are on a quick 2-game road trip. We are going to be playing in St. Louis first. So St. Louis is kind of struggling this season. They are 17, 28, and 8. Let's take a look at their lineup. We have not played them so far this season. Well, they are healthy, so they cannot put their struggles... They cannot blame their struggles on that. Right, so they have Cujo in net still, and then, what's his name? Brian Reagan, Alan Letang, Steve Steyos, Krasotkin, McLaren, Quintal, Laflamme, Blake Sloan, Kimmo Timonen Undi, Kirk Muller, Brendan Shannon, Jan Bulish, Antti Laaksonen, Jan Laperriere, Jeff Toms, is that Rick Gerard, I think? Yep. Wayne Primo, Alan McCauley, Stu Barnes, Brettel, Nils Ekman, and Harold Druken up front. There's not a whole lot there. I mean, Brettel is 36 now, so he's starting to, not be as effective anymore. We'll see. They have a couple interesting players for sure. Kimmo Timonen is a pretty good defenseman. Cujo is a pretty good goaltender, so who knows. So we're going to go with Nikolai Abibulin in net for that one, and Curtis Joseph is going to be in net for the Blues. And we won 4-2. Alright, another pretty decent game. We outshot the Blues 43-25 in this game. Bill Guerin was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Well, he's been kind of on fire for the start of the month here. Stu Barnes was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Rob Blake was the third star with an assist. St. Louis opened up the scoring in the first, and then Bill Guerin scored his 25th on the power play. That was unassisted, tied at 1 after 1. Then in the second period, the Blues took the lead again. It was 2-1 St. Louis after 2. Then in the third period, Teppo Numminen scored from Vili Peltonen and Martin Straka. Then Scott Young from Sergei Gonchar and Michael Anzus. And then finally Bill Guerin scored in an empty net from Rob Blake and Vyacheslav Kozlov. We won this game 4-2. Vasily Pankov is yet again on waivers. Sergei Gonchar extends his assist streak to 8 games in that game. got an assist. Bill Guerin extends his goal streak to 5 games with 2 goals. Bad news for the Kings. Alexei Zitnik is injured and he's going to miss 6 months, so his season is over with a torn ACL. And Pat Falloon is suspended in San Jose. He's going to miss 1 game. Joe Nieuwendyk got 500 goals in his career, got a goal and an assist against Colorado. So Joe Nieuwendyk, 500 goals, 34 years old, 3.5 star player, so still in Calgary. And now we are in Boston to play the Bruins. Bruins are not doing too good this season. They are 17, 32, and 6. That's good for 13th in the East. We played 1 game against Boston this season, and it was a tie, a 2-2 tie at home. So now we're playing Boston on the road. Let's see what happens. All right, so Nikolai Bibulin is going to be in net for us. John Graham is going to be in net for the Bruins. And we won 2-1 in overtime. So the Bruins, for the second game this season, took us to overtime, except this time we managed to win. We outshot the Bruins 43-26 in that game. John Graham was the first star of the game. Despite the loss, he made 41 saves. Adam Oates was the second star with an assist, and Martin Straka was the third star with a goal. Peter Shaslivy opened up the scoring in the first period from Keith Tkachuk and Teppo Numminen. It was 1-0, but about 5 minutes and a half later, the Bruins tied the game. It was tied at 1 here after 1. Nobody scored in the second period. Nobody scored in the third. We went to overtime, and 15 seconds before the end of overtime, Martin Straka played the hero from Marcus Naslund and Boris Mironov. It's a 2-1 victory for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now I get to have Niklas Avlin back on the lineup. Okay. There's a couple news there. What's going on? Sergei Gonchar's assist streak ended at 8 games, didn't get a point. And Francis Bouillon is not suspended anymore. Alright. So, now I have one too many players. So, Antti Jussi Niemi is going to go ahead and go back to Detroit. Alright. And thus we continue our quest to Hockey World dominance. Red light stays on for Mario Lemieux. He had a hat trick against the Devils. And suspension over for Pat Falloon. Back in the lineup in San Jose. We have a couple more days off, and then we're going to have a 3 home game stand that's going to start against the Phoenix Coyotes. Mario Lemieux extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Wild. Theo Fleury signed a contract extension with the Flames for 4 more years. It's going to be like, what, $2.12 million per year. And Brodeur extends with the Devils for 5 years, sorry. Brian Leetch extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Great night for Pavel Bure still in LA. He had 4 assists against the Oilers. Alright, Phoenix is in town. Oh, that's another struggling team. They are 14, 38, and 3. We are 1-0 against Phoenix this season. We beat them 5-1 in Phoenix. Jeff Hackett is going to be in net for Phoenix. Nikolai Bibulin is going to be in net for us. And we won 3-2. Another win here. We outshot Phoenix 62-21. Brian Rafalski was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Teemu Selanne was the second star with 2 goals, and Matt Sundin was the third star with a goal and an assist. 14,529 people in attendance for the game. Bill Guerin opened up the scoring yet again. He's been scoring quite a bit this month. From Matt Sundin and Brian Rafalski, it was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second period, Teemu Selanne scored twice to give Phoenix a 2-1 lead heading into the third period. Matt Sundin tied the game from Brian Rafalski, and then Scott Young scored the game winner. That was his 5th of the season from Rob Blake and Vili Peltonen. That was a 3-2 victory for the Lightning. So we came back from behind. Oh, Andre Mazine loves his fans, so he's been giving them pizza and stuff. Is that it? Yeah. There you go. Alright, and now we're going to play the Bruins again. We're going to host them. Marianosa lights the lamp with a hat trick against the Chicago Blackhawks. Marianosa plays in San Jose. Suspension over for Jeff Shantz. He is back in the lineup over there. Gary Roberts played in his 1000th game in his career. Gary Roberts plays in Anaheim. Celebrated with a goal and an assist against the Edmonton Oilers. Gary Roberts is 34 and he is a star and a half player. Mario Lemieux, points 3, ended at 12 games. He got shut out against the Minnesota Wild. Or shut down, I should say, probably. Alright, so Boston is in town. They are 17, 33, and 6 now. They are 14th in the East. We are 1-0-1 against them now. Jean-Marc Pelletier is going to be in net for the Bruins. We're going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. And we won 5-3, so another victory over Boston. We outshot them, 43-22. Matt Sundin was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Mariusz Czerkawski was the second star with an assist. Excuse me. And Alex Tanguay was the third star with an assist. 15,797 people in attendance for this game. Sergei Gonchar opened up the scoring in the first period. That was a power play goal from Bill Guerin. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay. Then Boston tied the game. Then we scored 3 unanswered goals. Matt Sundin from Alex Tanguay. Then Marcus Naslund scored on the power play from Bill Guerin and Martin Straka. And then Ryan Smith scored on the power play as well from Matt Sundin. It was 4-1 after 1. Then in the second period, Boston scored, made it 4-2, but Martin Straka scored his 20th on the power play from Marcus Naslund and Keith Kitchuk. It was 5-2. Yeah, we made them pay for their indiscipline. And then in the third period, the former Tampa Bay Lightning, Alexander Mogilny, scored, made it 5-3, but that was the end of the scoring for this game. We won this 5-3. Alright, one day off, and then we're going to be hosting the New York Rangers. Alright, a memorable night for Shane Doan. He had 4 goals and an assist. Pretty good game against Phoenix. That's funny, he did that against the team he played for in real life. And I to remember for Andrew Castles in that same game, he had a goal and 4 assists. Patrick Marleau in that same game also had a great game. He had 4 assists. Alright, so Kevin Adams in Anaheim had a fractured larynx, so he is out for 5 months. And Jaromir Jagr extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Devils. Alright, Rangers in town. They are 34-20-3. That's good for 4th in the East. So that's like the first good team we're facing this month. I believe that everybody else had a losing record so far. So yeah. So we are 1-1 against the Rangers this season. Both games were at Madison Square Garden. So this one is at home. Mike Richter is going to be in net for the Rangers. We're going to go with Johan Edberg for that one. And we won 3-2. Oh god, yeah, we dominated that game. Edberg wasn't very good. We outshot the Rangers 57 to 12. Nicholas Avlid was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Doug Waite was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Teppo Numinen was the third star with an assist. 16,415 people in attendance at the Amalie Arena. Rangers opened up the scoring in the first, but then Ryan Smith scored from Niklas Avlid and Teppo Numinen, and then Vili Peltonen from Michael Lenzus and Vyacheslav Kozlov, 2-1 Tampa Bay after one. There was a fight also between Bill Guerin and Brad Tapper. Then in the second period, Marcus Naslund scored on the power play from Sergei Gonchar and Keith Kitchuk, made it 3-1 Tampa Bay after two. Rangers scored late in the third period, made it 3-2, but they ran out of time. When they scored, there were 41 seconds left in the game, and they couldn't score in that time frame. However, during that game, Brian Leach extended his assist streak to 9 games. Mario Lemieux got his 1,250th assist in his career with an assist against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Mario Lemieux is 35 and of course still a 5-star player. Jaromir Jagr's point streak ended at 12 games, didn't get a point in that game against Columbus. Red light stays on for Marek Zidlicki playing for the Washington Capitals. He had a hat trick against the Montreal Canadiens. And memorable night for Saku Koivu playing for the Flyers. He had 4 assists against the Trashers. And we are now in Nashville to play against the Nashville Predators. So Nashville is 20, 26, and 14. We have not played them this season, so let's take a look at that lineup here. So they have Brian Marchment that's hurt. He's not going to be playing this game. Other than that, everybody else is healthy. So in net, they have Sean Burke and Podomatsky. Yerky Lume, Ruslan Sully, Yuri Slegger, Alexander Karpovtsev, Yannick Tremblay, and Jason York on D. I've seen worse Ds from more established teams. I mean, it's not a world-beating D, but it should be competent enough. James Black, Guzmanov, Jonas Oglund, Scott Pellerin, German Titov, Bobrovnikov, Brennan Ferraro, Taylor Falk, Babenko, Klat, Meke, Sushinsky, and Kuvaldin up front. I saw quite a few former Tampa Bay Lightning there. Oglund, Titov, Sushinsky, Karpovtsev. Lots of them played for us. Oh, wait, didn't Brennan also? No, I don't think so. I didn't get Brennan. Wait, no, I think I did. Yeah, I did for a very short time. That's what I thought. Even Brennan played for us. Everybody played for us. Alright, so in Nashville, let's see if we can win this game. That's the second game in 2 nights. We're going to have Nikolai Bibulin in net for this game. They're going to go with Yegor Podomatsky. And we won 4-2. Alright. Oh, Nashville played us tight till we... shots were tied at 34 apiece. Matt Sundin was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Ray Ferraro was the second star with a goal and an assist. And Brian Rafalski was the third star with an assist. Matt Sundin opened up the scoring in the first. That was his 15th of the season from Sergei Gonchar. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay at that point. Then Nashville tied the game, and then we scored 2 more goals. Bill Guerin from Martin Straka and Brian Rafalski, and then Peter Shesley scored his 10th from Marcus Naslund and Niklas Avlid. It was 3-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then in the second, Vyacheslav Kozlov scored on the power play from Keith Kitchuk and Matt Sundin, made it 4-1 Tampa Bay after 2. Then in the third period, Nashville scored, made it 4-2. But nobody else would score, so that was the final score. There was also a fight between Randy Meke and Keith Kitchuk. And that's a 4-2 victory. Alright, John Clem is done with his suspension in Boston, back in the lineup over there. Brendan Shannon played in his 1000th game in his career, celebrated that with an assist. Shannon is 32 and still a 4-star player. Martin St. Louis had a great game in Anaheim. He had a hat-trick against the Flames. Stefan Matteau is hurt in Chicago with a fractured larynx. Oh, just like, was it Kevin Adams that got that as well? You're out for 6 months. Brian Leetch assist streak ended at 9 games. He was held assistless against the Chicago Blackhawks. However, he did score 2 goals in that game, so that's far far from being a shit game for him. And then Richard Lintner in Toronto is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. All right, St. Louis Blues are in town. We played them earlier this month. They are now 17-34-8. We are 1-0 against them. We beat them 4-2 in St. Louis. Let's see if we can beat them at home as well. Brian Regan is going to be in net for the Blues. We're going to go with Nikolai Abibulin. And we won 2-0. A shutout for Nikolai Abibulin. Not that he had to work so hard for it. We outshot the Blues 32-14. Alex Tanguay was the first star of the game. He scored both of our goals. Stu Barnes was the second star with no points, and Brian Rafalski was the third star with an assist. 15,647 people in the stands were pretty happy to be part of a shutout performance. Alex Tanguay opened up the scoring in the first. That was his 10th of the season from Matt Sundin and Boris Mironov. It was 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. Then he scored again short-handed in the second period from Vyacheslav Kozlov and Brian Rafalski. It was 2-0 Tampa Bay after 2. And that was it, folks. We won this game 2-0. We have 2 games left, and we're going to be on the road, and they're going to be back-to-back. Alright, so Mike Watt in Colorado is suspended. He's going to miss 2 games. Then Bryce Salvador is suspended in Columbus. He's going to miss 7 games. Darren Van Imp in Philadelphia is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Zygmunt Palffy extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Philadelphia Flyers. One more day off. No one could stop Brett Hull. He scored 4 goals against the Detroit Red Wings. Pretty good game for the Golden Brett. Alright, so in Philly to play against the Flyers. Flyers are 29, 29, and 3. That's good for 7th in the East. And we are 1-1-1 against the Flyers this season. We're going with Nikolai Abibulin in net. They are going to go with Trevor Kidd. And we won 4-1 in Philly. We outshot the Flyers 44-28. Brian Rafalski was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Martin Straka was the second star with 2 assists. And Boris Mironov was the third star with a goal. 16 oh, that's not at home, but since I started, 16,990 people in Philly. Who cares? All right, so Flyers open up the scoring in the first. It was 1-0. Then Alex Tanguay scored a minute later from Brian Rafalski. And then Boris Mironov scored from Brian Rafalski and Martin Straka. It was 2-1 Tampa Bay after 1. Then we scored 2 more in the second period. Marcus Naslund scored on the power play from Martin Straka and Bill Guerin. And then Vili Peltonen scored his 10th from Brian Rafalski and Vyacheslav Kozlov. 4-1 Tampa Bay after 2. Nobody scored in the third, and that was the end of the game. 4-1 victory here. Pierre Turgeon has played in his 1000th game with the Islanders, celebrated that with a goal and an assist, and that was against the Florida Panthers. Pierre Turgeon is 31 years old and still a 4-star player. Zygmunt Palffy extends his point streak to 13 games. He had 2 assists in that same game against Florida. Strong night for Brian Berard in Toronto. He had 3 goals and 2 assists. Yeah, that's a pretty good game against the Montreal Canadiens. I didn't even know that Mikael Nylander was hurt. I didn't really pay attention to that, but apparently Mikael Nylander is hurt and he's about to come back. All right, so last game of the month is going to be in Buffalo against the Sabres. Sabres are now 19-35-7. That's good for 14th in the East. We started the month against Buffalo, and we're ending our month against Buffalo as well. We are 1-1 against them this season. Johan Edberg is going to be in net for us. Dominik Hasek is going to be in net for Buffalo. And we lost 5-3. We lost our perfect month. I did not mention anything. I didn't want to jinx it. I know some of you don't believe in jinxes, by the way. But we had a perfect month all the way up to there. We had won every single game we played. But we lost the last one 5-3 in Buffalo. We outshot Buffalo 33-29. Per Gustafsson was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Vyacheslav Kozlov was the second star with 2 goals and an assist. And Lubomir Sekarash was the third star with a goal and an assist. Marcus Naslund opened up the scoring in the first with his 25th of this season from Boris Mirnov and Vyacheslav Kozlov. Then Buffalo tied the game. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then Buffalo scored in the second period, and then we tied the game before the end of the period. Vyacheslav Kozlov scored his 10th from Martin Straka and Sergei Gonchar, tied at 2 after 2. Then we took the lead. Vyacheslav Kozlov scored again from Bill Guerin and Marcus Naslund. It was 3-2 at the start of the third period, but then we allowed 3 unanswered goals to Donald Odette, Per Gustafsson, and Wade Redden. And Buffalo won this game 5-3. I believed in it. I believed that we were going to get a perfect month, but we didn't. And now Vyacheslav Kozlov is injured, so we're going to need to address that. No, he's day-to-day only. Okay. Kozlov is hurt day-to-day with a sore foot. Richard Lintner is back from suspension in Toronto. Mike Watt is back from suspension in Colorado. Ulf Dahlen scored his 300th goal in his career. 2 goals and an assist performance against Edmonton. Ulf Dahlen is 34 years old and he's still a 3.5-star player. Brian Leetch extends his point streak to 12 games with a goal against the Flyers. Zygmunt Palffy's point streak ended at 13 games, was scoreless against the Pens. Mikael Nylander is almost ready to go, okay. And Scott Niedermayer extended with the Devils for 4 more years. Alright, so we do not have a game left in February, but there's a few days left in the month, so we're just going to sim all the way up to it. Suspension for Aaron Ward, playing in Dallas. He's going to miss 3 games. Brian Leetch point streak ended at 12 games. It was held scoreless against the Suns. And Mikael Nylander is fully healthy. Los Angeles, Yevgeny Korolev, sorry, is suspended. He's going to miss 7 games. Steve Sullivan, I made that trade. I sent him to Buffalo, and now he's hurt, and he's with a fractured knee. He's going to be out for 4 months. Season over for Steve Sullivan. All right. Alright, and we are now on March 1st. Alright, so Mark Messier scored 600 goals in his career. Got a goal and an assist against the Florida Panthers. Mark Messier is 40 years old, 3.5-star player. In that same game, Brian Leetch had 4 assists. Strong game for Yaroslav Modry with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He had a hat-trick against the Sharks. Dressing room shenanigans make us Phoenix players. Oh god. Of course that it's somebody whose name I cannot pronounce. Gerard Unterlugar and Brett Clark are in hot water. Gerard, don't do that again. I cannot say your name. Right, and the players of the month were Jaromir Jagr and Byron Defoe. All right. Right, so we're still sitting atop of the Eastern Conference, and I guess Ottawa was just as good as we were because they are still only 2 points behind us, and we lost only 1 game the entire month. So, yeah. And Pittsburgh is still in there, only 3 points behind us. So, yeah, it's still pretty tight. We lost 1 game the entire month, and we didn't create any separation. This is crazy. All right. Now, in the West, what do we see? So, Detroit is first. Nothing new there. The Sharks are pretty good. Colorado, Dallas, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, and the LA Kings. Right. Oh, there's a kind of a gap there, so looks like that's gonna be. Looks like there's a good chance that that's gonna be the 8 teams that are gonna be in the playoffs in the West because there's a 8-point gap. Like Nashville is 8 point behind the Kings, and they played 2 more games, so yeah. Yeah, in the East it's a little bit more blurry, so we don't know. The Florida Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens are still in it, so that's not a done deal over there. Let's take a look at our stats. So we won a lot of games, but not a lot of blowouts. Like lots of games we won with like 3 or 4 goals scored. So the offense was pretty well spread out. I didn't see anybody except for Bill Guerin near the start of the month scoring a lot of goals. I didn't see like anybody like run away with it, if that makes sense. So Martin Straka is pretty much a point per game, 61 points in 62 games. Then there's a drop off. Bill Guerin 52 and 63. Then Marcus Naslund 49. Sundin has 48. And then our best defenseman is Gonchar with 45. But Brian Rafalski also has 44 points. So that looks pretty good there. So as you can see, for the most part, our offense is fairly well spread out. And then in the league, the best goal scorer is Mario Lemieux with 47 goals. The best passer is Mario Lemieux with 69 assists. And the best pointer is, you guessed it, Mario Lemieux with 116 points. I don't think we have any. Bill Guerin is among the best goal scorers. He's like 10th in the league with 28, tied with Kovalev and Brendan Morrison. Wow, Brendan Morrison is having himself a season, huh? 69 points in 62 games. That's pretty good. All right, goaltender leaders. All right. So Abby Bonin is 15 wins for 28 wins. He's first in save percentage at 936. And he's second in a goal save above average with 20.53. Only Arthur Irby is better than him with that. Alright, so Abby Boulin is bouncing back despite being only a 2-star goaltender. We all know how I felt about that drop. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and save the game, and of course that's the part where I thank you for tuning in. And if you've liked the video and you would like to help support me and my channel, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, and all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.